This is our front porch, and we spend a lot of time out here. We do breakfast, lunch, and dinner out here. Plus, we sit and aggravate all the neighbors. Well, I got some rot there, and I'm gonna be doing some repair work on it. But you know, these videos are tough to edit, so I'm gonna do my YouTube videos in episodes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the video, and I'm gonna post it on YouTube in episodes 1 through until the finale. So if you wanna follow along, go to Tom Stroop YouTube channel, check out the episodes and follow 1, 2, 3 until the final. But let me show you the damage we have on this so we can get started. Well, welcome to our house. It's a 1920s craftsman style that we spent several months rebuilding with family and friends. And this is where we sit. Doors are always wide open. We don't like using air conditioning, so we're on the front porch. And I look down and I see this rot. Can you see that giving way there? Barely see that, but it's pushing way. And then when I went outside, I realized there was a lot of rot outside right along this lip right here. So the first thing I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to replace this lip right here, because those are the boards that actually stick out the side. They run the full length of the porch and they stick out this side. And I think that may have been a bad design. So I'm going to start with replacing that. A booyah. Okay, as you can see, there's a lot of soft wood out here, so this has been rotting for a while. What's happening is the water is running down after a rain and it's settling on here, and you can see why. That's flat. I have to taper that, but what I want to do is change the direction of this wood. I don't want it any longer coming out this way. I want it to tip down, sort of like this windowsill here does right here. So I'm going to take this, replace it, and I'm going to create a windowsill kind of look on the outside there to let the water run off so we don't have that rot in the future. All right, so the best tool to use for this is an oscillating tool. And man, this thing is invaluable for jobs like this, but check this out. I'm just gonna run it right along the edge and cut it right off. Okay, we got good news, we got bad news. I'm a good news kind of guy, so here's the good news is this board under here, this footer board, the stringer board, and this board here at the bottom of the screen is solid. The boards underneath there were rotted, it did need to come out, but I don't have to replace the stringer board or this trim board. Bad news, let's save that till we get inside. I'll show you what I mean. Okay, there are a lot of ways you can mark off this. As you can see, this 1x, I'm using pressure treated 1x, needs to go in here. What I prefer to do is lay the board out, and then everywhere there's an indentation, I just make a mark. It's so much easier that way than having to take it, tape measure, and measure out every single little mark here. So I got those marks just like that, and then I measure the distance from here to here, and I put an X right where I'm gonna cut the things out. So I'm gonna put an X right there where I'm gonna cut them out. Oh, and by the way, did I mention it is a beautiful day out today? Might as well leave it out, as they say. So I tapered this wood. You can kind of see the edge of it there if I can get the angle right. I tapered that because I want this to lean against this bottom of here. I want it to be tapered down. So I'm going to push that beveled edge right against there. And I have these decking screws. The good thing about decking screws is that they have a small head on them, so they don't leave a big hole so the water can't collect in it. Even though I will caulk the daylight out of it, and then I will drive these down, keeping that angle and securing this piece in place. Yeah. Here's a Tom's tool tip about caulking. Well, when you caulk, here's what you have to be careful of. And I'll try to zoom in on this. So typically you run caulk down a bead, or anywhere a bead down a crack there, and you push it in with your finger. If you push too hard, you actually create a little rough, almost like a little channel there. You don't want to do that. You want to push it flat and flush so the water actually runs off. Here the water will run off because I didn't push too hard with the caulk. Here, if you push too hard with the caulk, you actually create a little trough there and the water will actually hold there. So that is a quick tip when it comes to caulking. Okay, that one side's done there, and here's a really better view of the angle. You can see how the water's going to run off now. All the rotten pieces are off. The angle is there so the water can run off. I got one side done, and I'm going to start on this other side real quick over here because it's the same problem over here, and then we'll move on the inside. Okay, there it is. That is the outside of the porch, new sill lip, I guess you would call it. All painted and caulked in. Now we're getting ready to go inside. Look out.